Oh, there we go. Recording
There it
started.
is. What's up,
Hello, everybody.
beasties? It is time for another episode of Beast Friends Forever. And I have got one of my very best booktube friends and very best friends in general.
Absolutely.
That's right. Timothy Wolff, the author of all these beautiful books you see behind me, he has agreed to come on tonight.
Yes, I'm very grateful for the opportunity. It's
Yes.
I gotta say, I feel like you just kind of came out of nowhere and now you run the booktube show.
Oh, yeah, right. This is a funny guy we got here, guys. He tells a lot of jokes.
No, but seriously, like I try to comment on everything and you have so many videos. It's just like
You do somehow. I don't know how you
I
do,
try
man.
because you
It's
have a
impressive.
question and
Yep,
then
yep.
a response to
Question
the
of the day. Yep,
question and then like a
yep.
question of the it's really amazing.
I know it's a lot to keep up on sometimes, but it's fun. I
Yeah.
love it. All right, let's say hi to some people in here. We've got Worry Don't. They were the first one in here, firsties, and I told them, "Don't you
Big
worry.
respect.
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna ask that question, and you're gonna answer it, not
Yeah.
me. I'm not gonna answer it. So we'll talk about that later. Jan's in here, and I agree, it is. But you know what? We're ballsy. Look at us. Are you not
Dan is such a
surprised?
good dude.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
been chatting a bit lately.
yeah. I'm starting to chat with him more too. I've seen him chat on a lot of people's stuff. I'm like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, he actually just got my third book today, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
It was good timing.
nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, and I was a
Double
little
D's
nervous
is
when he
here.
messaged me because
Oh,
he lets me know when he finds typos, which is really cool.
yeah.
But now every
That
time I
is
get a
cool.
message, I'm like, ah, damn
I
it!
know. Yeah,
What did I
you
do
see it
now?
from him, you're gonna be like, oh gosh, what did I do now?
Oh man.
Double Deets is here. Thanks for being here. I think this might be their first live they've been to of mine. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Isaac Anderson is here. What's up, man? Good to see you in here.
We got a full house.
We do. Dave
Some
Lawson's
big
here.
dudes.
Lizards, that's right. The other Tim, the power of Tims.
The democracy is our
That's
official
right.
slogan.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alex is here. What's up, man? I don't know either. He says I make so many videos. I make a lot of shorts. I don't make enough videos. I probably need to do that more.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Yeah,
if you get 10 views 100 times, that's kind of mean it adds up after a while, right?
that is true. That's true. I like
Right.
it. I like it. Halfway through Tears, nice. Who would you say the hardest? All right, we might as well just get right into it. Let's just start with this. Let's start with this, and then we'll backtrack and talk about some of the other things I want to ask you about.
That's actually a really good question.
It is.
I think it's funny you mentioned Tears because by Tears I was pretty comfortable with everybody.
This
Like
one.
the new POV in that book is Tempest, who's on the cover. It's not a spoiler.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
he was kind
So
of
cool.
surprisingly easy to write because I got to have a lot of fun with him because he kind of has like he views things the way a writer does.
Okay.
And you can really play with it. Like a lot of times he in his inner thoughts you see him trying to like worry about plot holes and how to describe things, and obviously that comes pretty naturally. So
Yeah.
but in the first book, definitely Francis. Francis
Okay.
really was a struggle, and he's probably my favorite character now. But he was very hard to write
Okay.
because I couldn't. It's very hard to write a character nobody likes because the challenge is nobody wants to read. Well, not nobody, but people don't like Francis, and sometimes they don't want to read him.
Right. Yeah.
And I had early beta feedback that was like, please remove this point of view.
Really?
This is too much.
Oh no.
So I definitely toned him down a bit. I made him more. He's still a dickhead, but I mean he's better.
Well, that
And
gets me pumped, man.
what's kind of sad about that is I put a lot of my annoying traits in Francis because
And
like I
people
mean
are
you got to be. I think we all after a certain age kind of know our
Oh yeah,
bad
for sure.
traits.
For sure.
And I took every one of mine and just shoved them into Francis, and everybody hates him. So it's like I got to look in the mirror.
Oh man. You got to
Yeah,
think that through now. That's awesome. I don't know. When I read books, usually the character that annoys people ends up being my favorite. I don't know. That's how it
yeah.
goes a
I
lot for
find
me.
if people like reading Francis, they love the series.
Okay.
And if they
It's
don't, they usually say, "Hey, thanks for sending me a book. Never talk to me again."
yeah, don't
Yeah.
lose my number, right?
Oh man,
Let's see who else we got in here. We got
I see Shane.
So where you don't is ZB Steel.
Oh, okay, yeah, that
Now
makes a
we
lot of
know. Now
sense.
I
Yeah,
was wondering. I was wondering who that was.
yeah, ZB's the man. That dude
He is. He's
is very
awesome.
good to me.
And yes, Shane is here. What's up, Shane?
I actually have ZB's book.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
It's upstairs.
afraid to tackle this mountain of books, so I'm gonna try.
You gonna get it out?
We'll see. Oh, okay. This is ZB's book.
Yes. Awesome cover. I love
Few
it.
days more.
Yes.
Very cool. And he was kind enough to sign it for me, which is it was really nice of him. I
Nice.
appreciate
That
that.
is really nice. He's a good dude for sure.
Yeah.
Let's
And that's
see.
Shane.
All right, so I think there's no Miriam's here.
Oh,
Made it.
Miriam is awesome.
Right.
I'm actually in the middle of reading Miriam's book right
Ooh,
now,
nice.
Excalibur's
Okay.
King. She's
Oh,
she's really awesome,
awesome. Very
and her
cool.
art particularly is very amazing.
Yeah, awesome. I'll have to check it out. Haven't heard of her books yet. Very cool.
She has a lot of good ones. She has a
Okay.
really weird short story she released for Halloween.
Okay.
And it was one of those books where you read it in one sitting, and you're just like, what the hell happened? I have absolutely no idea what's going on. But it was a lot of fun.
Oh, I say those are fun ones.
Yeah, I always like those because I kind of, since I kind of wrote something similar to that, I kind
Uh-huh.
of know how the gears work towards
Oh
that.
yeah.
Where you just keep going, and wherever the madness takes you, is you work it out.
Just roll with it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, so thanks everybody for being here. So Timothy has okay, first, do you go by Tim or Timothy? Because
I
I
don't
never
care.
know for sure when I'm like messaging you or
I
talking.
honestly don't care. Tim is fine.
Okay.
I don't.
All
I've
right.
never. Doesn't matter to me.
All right. All right. Don't tell me later when we get off this. Like, dude, why did you ask me that? You should have known.
The only thing that kind of weirds me out of it, and this is nothing wrong, is when
Uh-huh.
people write reviews and they like state Mr. Wolf. It's like Mr. Wolf writes this way, and I'm like, man, that's kind of weird because like obviously that's I think of my dad when I hear Mr. Wolf.
That's true. That's funny. Oh, some of your secret names are coming up. We got
I
Timo,
know.
Timbo. I like it.
Well, I was last time I was on a chat with Tim McKay. He was talking about all his Tim nicknames.
Oh yeah.
So there are a lot of them. I mean,
There could be it. It rhymes with so many things.
it really does. Yeah. So if you make the wrong guy mad, you're gonna have a bad nickname.
Oh yeah, right, for sure. All right, so I'm glad you agreed to come on. Let's see. I first heard about you when I saw this, and then I grabbed it and read it, and it was freaking awesome. And
Yeah,
then
I gotta say that book has really been a shock at how successful it's
yeah,
been. People
I
seem to
bet, man.
enjoy it, and I don't understand why. So it's
Because it's awesome.
I
That's
know, but
why.
it's like there's like no message or morals. It's just kind of a story about a weird guy, and
That's the message. It's okay to be weird.
yeah,
Embrace the weirdness.
it's just funny because like I mean I don't particularly love this book.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad it exists, obviously, because it's done well for me. But it's like I didn't. It wasn't like a labor of love. It was just I needed
Okay.
something really different for my trilogy to just keep writing again.
Mix it up. Yeah. Okay.
And I started writing this. It was actually going to be a massive multi POV thing. But I was like, I just want to write this one dude. So I
Yes.
started writing.
Okay, so it started off being more POVs. Like people that are in there, we're gonna have their own POV, or you
Yeah.
just went with him. Okay.
So not this is not really a spoiler, but in my third book, Age of Arrogance,
Okay.
there's one guest chapter that's written in first person narrative.
Oh,
And I
okay.
had a lot of fun with that. So I was like, man, if I
Cool.
wrote a whole book this way, it actually might be pretty good. So I was like,
Well, you were correct.
yeah.
It was awesome, man. I
You
really
can
loved it.
kind
And
of.
like,
I'm
yeah, I
glad I wrote it after the trilogy because I
mhm.
did a lot of I kind of wrote it with a lot of confidence in all seriousness, and I think it paid off.
Heck yeah, dude.
A
It
lot
was
of like
awesome.
the meta jokes and the rainforest and pleasant reads. People really seem some people have really appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, dude. It was so good. That
Yeah.
his character is just so fun to be inside his head. I mean, I don't know. So how did the thought for him come about for Mute? Like when did you think about him, and was it during your other books? Did he pop into your head and then you went to it, or were you just thinking of what do I want to write next and you thought of him and his story?
I thought of him. I thought of like the first. I actually don't know why, but I thought of the first the first two lines of the book is something about entering. You can't enter heaven if you enter a certain brothel.
Yeah.
And I thought about that, and I was like, let's write a guy who goes to a brothel, and it just kind of snowballed into this really
Okay.
weird character. It was like it was a weird book to write because it wasn't. It was inspired by the lines and not really the story.
Okay. Oh
Like the
yeah, yeah.
last line of the book is to be alone with my thoughts is just another form of being alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how do I make that the ending though?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really weird.
Hey, it worked out, man.
I'm
All
glad.
of it. Yeah. It had so many good I mean, I see people comment all the time. Anything about you, it's always, like I mean, obviously not Beatrice is a great one.
Yeah. It's been actually really funny because it's gotten a whole new audience to my trilogy.
Yeah.
And to
All right.
speak very plain, it's written much better than my first book, Platinum Tinted
Okay.
Darkness, just because I had all the experience by the end of it. And I'm
Okay.
finding a lot of people love this book, so they check out
Yeah.
my trilogy, and then they
Yeah.
don't love the trilogy.
Oh man.
So it's like, yeah,
Shoot.
there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah, yeah.
it's always fine.
Oh man. Well, I found that one, read it, loved it, and then um, you were nice enough to send me the books, and I did start this, and I think your writing's still pretty awesome in this.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I like
I'm
it
not
so
trying to
far.
bash it. I'm just saying it's when you
But I
compare my
mean,
first
yeah,
stuff to my
right,
later stuff, there's a big difference. I mean, you
right,
can,
and that I mean that's the mark of a writer that's learning and growing every book, right? You should get better with every book. If
yeah.
you don't, that's not a good thing, right?
And what I like to do, just to kind of poke fun at myself, in the books 2 and 3, Tears and Age of Arrogance, there's a book within the world called the Rinso novels,
Okay.
and people always comment that the first book in that series really sucks, and there's like way too many semicolons, and the names are hard to
Okay.
pronounce. And that's kind of just a nod to myself, saying, "Yeah, I get it."
Oh, that's
I,
funny. Now,
yeah,
now that part's gonna be so much more funny when I read it.
yeah. So I'm actually considering doing a re-release of my first book and just doing
Okay.
like a one more, just kind of like a edit through new eyes
Yeah.
and just try to make it a little smoother.
Okay. Nice.
Because what I'm finding is, I have a lot of confidence in Tears and Arrogance. I think they're both very good
Okay.
books. I just
Nice.
have to get people to get there.
You're ready to get through the first
So
one?
yeah. So I
Well,
think if
yeah,
I
I don't
kind
think.
of clean it up,
Yeah.
like I mean, I can't rewrite the whole thing, but if I clean it up, I think I can definitely get people back on board.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So let's go way back. I love to hear about a writer's journey. So I would love. I've never really talked to you about how everything started
Yeah.
with you before your first book. So like, when did you know that you wanted to get into writing, and then how did that process go before you released your first book?
That's a very good question. It was not a lifelong dream by any measures. I always wanted to make a video game. And if you
Okay.
read the full series, I think you kind of get that vibe because it's very video game-ish.
Okay.
There's this
Hold
long
on.
fights
We
that
should
go
we should
on.
ask this question real quick then.
Okay.
Oh, not that one. Hello. Where to go? Oh yeah.
Is it
ZB
Dave?
said,
Oh,
yep. He said that Platinum has a decent bit of MO video game inspiration. What's your favorite video game? So I don't forget to
the
ask.
biggest inspiration for me was World of Warcraft
Oh, nice. Okay.
because I just loved. I started playing it when I was like 13, so I got sucked in right away. Like I was
Oh,
one of the
nice.
old dudes who played when it first came out,
Okay. Very
and I
cool.
really like
I like that.
I like how every character has a role and everyone needs each other. But and one thing you really find is that people's personalities tend to match the character they play.
Okay.
Like the tank is usually tries to be the leader. The
Yeah.
rogue's always an asshole, you know. And the healer is like usually the best person in the group because they have to keep everyone alive.
Okay. So what character do you play with then?
I played a rogue. But then later in my journey I played a healer. And I was like, oh my god,
Okay.
I actually have to like pay attention and see
Oh
what's
yeah.
going. Like when you play a rogue, you just stab the
You just
dragon.
worry about yourself and have fun, right?
All you do is look at the damage charts. You don't actually care about what's going on.
Oh man, that's awesome.
But when you're the healer, you everything's important.
Yeah.
You know what every mechanic is. You know what everyone's job is. So that's why I like to write from Serena's point of view because she's not exactly a healer, but she plays like a support role. So and she has best eyes on the battlefield.
Okay.
But she's watching everyone. She's seeing who do I reshield, who's
Yeah.
in danger, and from a point of view standpoint, that's the easiest. Well, not the easiest, but I think that's
Yeah.
the best descriptive way to tell a battle
Very cool. Okay.
because it
Um.
gets kind of tough with melee characters,
Oh yeah.
especially Zine. Zine, there's only so many ways you can write. He slashed him with his sword until it gets repetitive. You know?
Right. You got to get creative, right?
Yeah.
So he said both of us. So I'll say I did like World of Warcraft too, but I think probably the games that I played first that were like not that got me really into gaming was the Resident Evil games. So
Oh,
those
dude.
always have a special place in my heart, especially Resident Evil number 2. That was whew. When that
I
came
got,
out.
yeah, I got Resident Evil 1 from Blockbuster.
Oh
And
man,
when I was
I
running
love
through the hallway
Blockbuster.
and the dog jumped through the window, I turned the game right off. I was like, no,
You're like, this is too much.
I'm not the intended audience for this game.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And what's
That
funny
was
is
a freaking scary part.
when you watch it now, it's like really the graphics are horrible.
Oh, I know.
But it was like I was legitimately afraid of
Oh
like
yeah,
the
me
box
too, man.
characters and like it was really funny.
I know. I remember it being so like looking so sweet, and then when I played it when I got older, I'm like, oh my gosh, this does look really bad.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
tough.
true.
Like I mean, I still defend games like Final Fantasy VII, the classic ones.
Oh yeah.
But the characters have like
Oh gosh.
giant block biceps and just
They
really
look they look so bad. I know. Oh, but it was so cool at the time.
it was. And people will never understand that. And
I know. I know
the
they
more I
don't.
try to explain it, the wider my beard gets. So it's like,
Yeah, right. Well, especially with the remake out, how beautiful that game looks, and then you're
I
trying to
haven't
say,
had a
no,
chance to
no,
play
play
it.
the
I
old.
want
Oh, you
to.
haven't? Oof,
No.
you should. It's
I'm just
it's pretty
afraid,
good.
like, if I find a game that will ruin my life again, like
Yeah,
for 50 hours a week,
that's
I
true.
don't
That's
want to
true.
stop writing.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very fair.
Like someone mentioned, what was it? The Elder
Ob-
Oblivion, and
Oblivion. Yeah, I was
dude,
just
those
gonna say.
games will shave years
Yeah.
off your life.
Ugh,
I mean, it's like,
I know. I feel like so many games are like that now. So many open world, long games that you can just do so many crazy things in.
yeah, I want to play Baldur's Gate 3, but
I
I'm afraid
know.
I'm gonna get
Me
sucked in.
too. I know I
It's like,
have it and I haven't played it yet because I know I'll get like obsessed with it.
yeah.
But it'd be so fun. All right. So I cut you off. Let's
Oh,
let
that's
you get
fun.
back to your story. So I didn't want to forget to ask that because we got an awesome live chat and lots of comments. I didn't want to lose that one. So
Yeah.
all right. So yes, you were talking about the path to writing this. You were talking about
Oh, okay, yeah. So I wanted it to be a video game I mentioned, and then we
Mhm.
talked about
Yep.
video games.
Yep.
But obviously you can't just make a video game, or I couldn't. So I wanted to tell a story, but I didn't know how to start. And at the time, this was during COVID.
Yep.
I was going through a divorce, so my mind was all over the place. And that kind of sucks during COVID because it's quarantine.
Oh yeah.
So you're
Right.
just like in the same place as the
Yeah.
person at all times. So I pretty much just locked myself in a small room, drank scotch all night, and
Oh
just wrote
man.
about lizard people.
Sounds like a good night.
Yeah, and the best part about that was I thought it was amazing as I was
Mhm.
writing it,
Yeah.
and it was so bad. It was like the worst thing you've ever read,
You're just like typing it like I'm killing it.
dude. It was like that, and I was writing like 13 pages a day just because I had no self control. It was just
Oh
anything on the
man.
page goes.
I mean that's probably good when you're starting out though, right? Just get it all out. Just
Yeah, I
vomit it
mean, it
all
was
out.
like that's kind of why I honestly probably never would have done this if I didn't get divorced because like I hit
Okay.
that point where I was like, you know what, just I was already rock bottom, so I was like,
Yeah.
what's the point in not doing it now?
Right.
You
Just
know,
go for it, right?
even if I write the worst book ever made, it's not like, I mean,
Right. Hey, even if you did, you still wrote a book, right?
yeah. And what's funny is like as you're writing a book for the first time, all you
Mhm.
ever hear is that nobody ever finishes their book.
Oh yeah, right.
And then you release your book, and there's like 10,000 different fantasy books to do so.
Yeah, I know, right?
So obviously that was a lie.
You're like, wait a minute. What about all these?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of books out there. That's true.
I underestimated how long it would take. I thought I would
Okay.
start writing this thing in July and have it released by like June of next
Right,
year.
right. Yeah.
But like I thought you're right. One draft, you proofread that, and then
Right.
bam, there's a
And then
book
you're
in
good
your
to
hand.
go.
And dude, that is not the case.
Right.
That is not the case at all.
Oh man. So then how long did the process take you before you finally released the first one, Platinum Tinted Darkness?
That one took quite a while because as I recognized reality, I was like, this needs a lot of work.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So what I did was I wrote it and then I actually rewrote it. And when I mean rewrote, I mean literally just wrote the whole book over.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And that's why I think it's, even though it's flawed, it's much better than it was. I mean, it really was.
Okay.
And I didn't understand how editors and cover artists work.
Yeah.
Like I thought you hire a cover artist on Tuesday and you have a cover by Thursday. But there's like for certain people there's like a 5 or 6 month wait.
Oh yeah, right.
So it actually worked out because I had the book finished for pretty much a year before it came out.
Okay.
So I had Tears, the first draft of Tears, finished before Platinum ever came out.
Oh wow, okay. So then
So
you
I
were
released my
able to
full
roll.
trilogy in a pretty good time frame. It
Yeah.
was 2 years. I mean that's pretty
That's
good. So
that's really good. That's
yeah,
awesome. I mean, usually, you think of like traditional published, a trilogy takes 10 years to come out. It's
yeah.
crazy. So yeah, that's pretty good. So how did you find your cover artist? Because I think these books are gorgeous. They
His
did an
name is
awesome job.
Alejandro Colucci,
Oh,
and
that's fancy.
he's honestly a legend in the industry. He's
Okay.
done a lot of the Witcher books.
Oh
He's
yeah.
done Robin Hobb's books,
Oh really?
and he's done
Dang.
some of the Malazan books too.
Okay.
So
Nice.
have you ever heard of Reedsy?
Mm-mm.
Reedsy is like it's
Oh
kind of
yeah. I've heard of
yeah,
Reedsy. Is that?
it's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
professional writing space where you can
Okay.
hire freelance editors and artists
Oh
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And he has a profile there, and it had
What?
showcased all his work on The Witcher.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
I sent him an email. I was like, "Hey, I'd like to work with you."
Yeah.
And I felt like such an idiot because it was like I had like 14 followers on Twitter. I had this mess of a book, and he was the nicest guy I've ever worked with.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
He gave me like he really handheld me through the whole cover process
Yeah.
and formatting and cover sizes and trims and
Mhm.
moss and all that stuff. That's why I use him for every cover because he was good to me when I knew nothing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, and
so
he
he really
does an awesome job, so it's good to stick with him.
yeah, it's funny because I was talking to Bill Adams. I don't know if you
Mhm.
know him, but he's a
Oh, yeah.
really good
Yep.
dude.
Yeah, he is.
And he
He's awesome.
works with Felix Ortiz, who's like the
Yep.
king of
Yeah.
writing right now.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it's a very collaborative process where Felix will send him a draft, they talk it
Uh-huh.
about, new draft, talk it out.
Yeah.
Alejandro didn't do any of that. Alejandro, I gave him a really vague description,
Yeah.
and then 2 weeks passed by, and he goes, "This is your cover. Congratulations." So
Here you go. Here it is. Now,
yeah.
were you happy with all of them, or was there
Oh yeah,
anything
I
you
think
wish
they
you could
look
have
amazing.
changed about them? You
My
love them
favorite
all?
one is where is it? I love Age of Arrogance's cover
Oh, yeah.
because a big part of it was the bottom, the chessboard. I can't
Oh,
get
yeah.
this.
I love that. Yep.
So if you know the story, each one of those chess pieces represents a character in the story,
Okay.
and where they on where they are on the board is their alignment to each other at
Oh,
that point.
okay.
So
That's
you
pretty
notice
cool.
there's like some on the side and some on the other side.
Yeah.
But above all of them is Arrogance because he's the one, that's kind of making all
Mm.
the stuff happen.
Yeah. That is sweet, man. That's cool. I figured that had to play into the story somehow.
Yeah,
That's
because
awesome.
it was the final one, so I really wanted to go big.
Yeah. It came out awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah, and I gave
Um,
him like the word. I told him I wanted it to be sinister yet whimsical. And I mean,
yeah.
honestly, that means nothing, but he took
Right.
it
Yeah.
really awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that is sinister. That face is very sinister. But then
Yeah,
the cover itself is whimsical. Yeah.
the inspiration was just like one of those festival masks that you see in like carnivals and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah. Uh-huh.
like the sun goddesses and all that. And anytime I see something cool, I just think, how does that work in a fantasy setting? How can I
Yeah.
take that and make it awesome?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I agree with this too, that your titles are awesome, man. Like, how did you come up with your titles?
So that's funny you say that. So Platinum Tinted Darkness had like 7 different names before I settled on that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest, I hate that title. I think it's a
You
horrible title.
do?
Yeah, I
Really?
really do. But
I think it's sweet. So that's
But
your least favorite book and your least favorite title.
and the thing that I hate that I did is so I name my chapters, and every book will have a chapter name, the title of the book,
Yeah. Okay.
and in every other book, it's the most important chapter in the story.
Okay.
So if you're reading and you come across the name of the
You
book,
know it's important.
something's coming.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. Okay. That's good to know.
for Platinum, it was just the fourth chapter. I mean,
It was just a random chapter,
it's like a random chapter, and it is important chapter, but it's, I mean,
not like the other books.
yeah, it's not like
Okay.
the defining moment of the saga.
Okay. Oh man, would you change that if you go back and do like
No, no, it's already
no?
out there. I
Let's
mean,
keep it.
it's not a bad title. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I mean the chapter, like when you said you want to go back and like do another version or
No,
edit,
because
would you change the chapter name or no?
nah, because there's actually a quote in there,
Okay.
so it works. It's a good quote, so I just
Oh,
kind of
good.
left it in there.
Nice. Good. I forgot earlier too when we were talking about you doing another version. Somebody said special edition. Would you
Um,
do a? Would you
I
ever
don't
do
know if
that?
you'd call it a special edition, but I do want to have a dust cover
Oh, nice.
because I have
Yeah,
so many
that's special
beautiful dust
edition. That's
covers,
different. Yeah.
and like they look so nice. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know,
That would be cool. So would you do like a totally different cover on the dust jacket, but then still have
yeah,
this on
yeah,
the naked?
yeah. Like I'll
Sweet.
use an example. I'm picking this because it's my top book on the shelf. This
Uh-huh.
one,
Oh yeah.
Umbra.
Uh-huh.
This looks amazing. I mean, I
Oh yeah,
really
it
can't
does.
believe how nice this looks.
Beautiful
And
book.
I have Bill's book, but it's at the bottom of
Oh yeah,
this, and I'll never get it.
I can
So.
grab his. I can grab his.
Oh,
His
you
is
have this?
within reach. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that dust jacket is so sharp.
Isn't
And
it just
then
like one of the nicest books you've ever seen?
its naked hardcover is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so cool that those green sprayed edges are sweet too.
Yeah, but one thing I've learned is I'm not doing that. So.
You're not gonna spray some edges?
No, I talked to him about it, and it sounds like a miserable
Oh,
process.
it sounds like it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it looks good, but man, can you imagine doing that for a whole bunch of books? Like, oof,
No, no, I
no,
really don't want to.
no, you'd have to hire that out.
I
It's
guess
probably
funny. Like
expensive.
I see some of my book mail is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm,
It comes in
mm-hmm.
like special boxes with signed art
Oh
and
yeah,
bookmarks, and I just send you a box. That's all you get.
yeah, but these things are in it. Look at them. So it's all
Yeah.
right. No swag from the wolf.
No, no, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's all right, man. So what were some of the authors and stuff that you really were inspired by when you were younger and reading up until you decided to write your own book?
So my biggest inspiration actually came from video games, like the old
Okay.
Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I didn't do a lot of reading. Like I
Okay.
read all the Animorph books, and
Okay.
those were awesome. Like,
Yeah. Those, yeah.
but so all like the old fantasy games were text based. So even though like I would tell you I didn't read. I read entire games, and that was really cool.
Okay.
As I got older, I got the Game of Thrones audiobooks because that was
Mhm.
starting to get popular. Like season one just came out, and I got like I was like, dude, fantasy's getting cool. You got to,
Yeah.
because I've
Right.
always been a nerd, so I was like, I kind of felt like this was our moment. It was coming.
Yes.
So I would listen to the audiobooks in my
Uh-huh.
car on the way to work,
Okay.
and that's how I learned how point of views work.
Okay.
Because like you'll say chapter one, John, and then
Yeah.
it's all Jon Snow's point of view.
Oh,
And I
right.
had
Right.
never seen that before, so it was kind of interesting.
Okay. That's a good one to learn from.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Uh,
That's a
uh,
fancy shirt. Oh man, that's awesome.
yeah.
We
You
got
gotta look good for the book beast.
oh yeah, got to, man. Well, I
Yeah.
realized I was trying to see if I had a shirt with a lizard on it, and unfortunately I don't, which
Oh,
is needs to be remedied quickly.
I
So I just
actually,
got a green shirt.
I think I have one right here.
You do?
Yeah, it's you see it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I
That
like
is
that
very
one.
nice.
I mean, it's kind of there's a disturbing lack of lizard clothes,
That is very true. It's
and
true.
like designers are definitely missing out on that. So they
There.
gotta step up.
You know what that means? You got to get some merch
Yeah,
for your
I
lizard.
I thought about it, but I mean, I gotta just write books. I think. I think
That's true. That's the most important thing. Do that.
yeah, because I mean, I waste a lot of time on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff.
Hmm.
I gotta just write books. I mean,
Oh, I know. I know.
and there's so
Oh,
many like interview shows now
what's
that
that?
I'll
Oh,
spend
yeah.
like 4 hours a night just watching other people talk.
I know. There's so much fun stuff.
Yeah,
So easy to get distracted by it all.
yeah. And you
Uh,
guys here are cool though. You guys, it's all good.
well, that's good.
Yeah,
uh, Shane said lizard sprayed edges. That would be pretty sweet.
that would be.
You'd have to get a digital sprayer though to put some lizards on there. That would be tough.
Yeah, listen, I can't pull that off. So it's
No,
a
no.
great idea. I wish I could though.
I know that's tough. All right, we got a couple more people that have come in. Dewey Conway is here.
Oh,
He said
Dewey's
hello.
awesome.
Dewey is a cool guy.
Yeah, and I want to give him a congrats, him and Bill, for making the
Heck
Spitball
yeah.
finals.
Yes, 100%. Round of
Yeah,
applause for
I
that.
was like so proud of them. It
That's
was
so
awesome.
awesome. That is very cool. NA is in here. What's up, man? Just finished a chapter.
Welcome.
All right. And then I think I saw GJ Terrell is here. Yep, there he is. What's
Oh,
up,
he's a
man?
good dude too.
He
I
is.
read his novella for Baby Bow or Sphinx, whatever you call it. And I
Oh, okay.
liked it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm reading his short story collection right now. Then I'm gonna dive into Bloodbound or
Yeah, I heard it's
Blood
pretty good. So
Woven
I'm
and
definitely.
Bloodbound. Yeah.
It's on the endless TBR, so I will get
I
to it.
know. I know. Tell me about it, man. There's just too
Yeah.
many things. Oh, Bill must have said this when I was lifting his book. I did get a good workout in there.
It is a big book.
It's a beast.
Have you read that one yet?
No, I need to. I did read the first chapter and it was really good.
Yeah, it's a good read. It's a dense read, but it's a really good.
Oh
Once
yeah,
everything starts to
that's
click,
what
you're
I've
just like,
heard.
damn, this is really good
Oh
stuff.
man, I can't wait.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I missed anybody else new coming in. I think we're good. All right. So, so I want to know what is next. I know you don't have to say exactly what is next, but
Yeah.
are you starting a whole new trilogy? Are you doing something connected to one of the two stories you've told already? Like, what are you kind of
Yeah.
working on next, generally
So,
speaking?
I honestly didn't expect Whisper to take off as it did,
Yeah.
but it's doing very well. So I've decided to. I'm writing a full-length novel in the same world,
Nice.
and it takes place 20 or 25 years after the events of Whisper.
Okay. Nice.
And even though Mute may or may not be in it, it takes place on the other side of the world where there's
Okay.
different gods and different kingdoms.
Well, just the world you built in that novella is sweet. I mean, so
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. That's
But Lepak is definitely in it. So
okay.
the silent god shows up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Oh, that's gonna be awesome, dude. Well, awesome. So let's see. We talked about your kind of journey to these books, and we talked a little bit about your newest novella. So, how do you find time to, because you still read, how do you
Oh
find
yeah.
time to
Yeah.
read and write? Do you feel like you have a good mix, or do you feel like it ebbs and flows where if you're writing, really focused on your writing, you just don't read, or do you always make time for both?
It definitely ebbs and flows. I have no sense of balance. It's really bad. Like I'll go a month without reading a word,
Uh-huh.
and then next week I'll read 3 books in 1 week. Like it's really, I kind of just do things until I get burnt out.
Yeah.
Like
That's a great way to do things, right?
like that's what I did with writing. And
Okay.
I've so my original plan with writing with the first book was you have to write no matter what, 7 days a week, no
Yeah.
excuses. Because I felt like if I took a week off, I would just never work on it again.
Yeah.
We've all been there. I mean, everyone has that project they
Oh,
started.
yes.
This
Yes.
battle of this.
100%.
I actually did that. I worked really hard on that first book. Just every day, no excuses, just work on it.
Okay.
But it destroyed me like mentally. Like it really took a toll. So I just
dude.
after that I was like, you know what? It gets done when it gets done.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. You probably had to give yourself that break, or you wouldn't have finished it probably.
I have a good balance now because like I
That's
wrote
good.
and the nice thing about this book was really nice looking back because it was novellas are not easy to write, but they're
Right.
less work than
Right.
like a
Yeah.
regular book.
Obviously. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, because
That's
like they're
good.
about 20,000 words,
Uh-huh.
and for reference, I write about 1,200 words in a day.
Oh
So I mean,
yeah.
I can write a novella in a month. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So a little less stress you have to put on yourself for that, right?
yeah, because it does. I mean, there's like a gambling aspect to it, where if you take 9 months to write a long book and it doesn't do well, you're just like,
Right.
damn. You know, if I write a novella and it's trash, I could just never talk about it again.
Yeah. That's true. Just move on, right?
Yeah, it's the Goodreads gods will take their judgment.
Oh man. Well, I think a
Yeah,
lot of authors in the chat agree with you. Dave
yeah,
said feels that first book destroys you thing, and Miriam agreed,
yeah.
and
It's
so
tough.
did Bill. So yeah.
Like, I can only speak for myself, but I assume everyone feels this way.
Hmm.
Everyone thinks their first book's going to be the big one.
Yeah. Oh right, right.
Yeah. Like I remember, this is totally delusional, but I remember reading my first book back. I was like, man, this is going to change things. This is really going to change things.
Oh man.
And then it didn't. You kind of got to come to terms with
Right.
the reality of it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Makes sense. Um, what are you reading now? Like right now, what book are you in the middle of?
I don't have a physical version of it, but I've been
Okay.
reading Miriam's Excalibur's King,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
and it's like a
You did say that
retelling
earlier.
of Tungsten and Lancelot.
Okay.
It's interesting. The tone is all over the place, which I actually really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like there'll be like a sad character death, and then there's like comedy on the next page, and I love that because that's how I write as well. So
That is awesome. I love that. I love that in books.
yeah. After that, I want to read Sledge because I keep getting
Yeah.
told it's awesome.
It is. You'll love it. It's a lot of fun. Very, very quick read. The chapters are super short. Like I think the longest chapter is I don't think it has any chapter over 10 pages. So like
Yeah,
it's just so easy to just read one more and one more.
that's
So
how I read Dark Bloom because
yep,
Dark
yep.
Bloom was the same
Yeah,
way.
same
I
way.
was
Yep,
in a
yep.
buddy read for that one, and
Oh
that
nice.
was way darker than I usually
Yeah, I
enjoy, but
know. Yeah,
it
yeah.
was very well written.
Yeah, it was. She did an awesome job.
Yeah.
There was a good question here too. Oh yeah, it said any culture you based Vanex on.
Good question. I would say it's a combination of Orgrimmar from Warcraft
Okay.
and Klingons from Star Trek.
Nice.
It's way more Klingon, honestly. Like the whole honor thing and all that.
Oh, that's sweet.
'Cause I love Star Trek,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
didn't love it until COVID because
Okay.
I was quarantined, so I watched all of Next Generation and Deep Space Nine,
Oh yeah.
and I was
Which
like, oh my
one's your
god, this is
favorite?
like,
Oh yeah.
you know, I feel like Deep Space Nine is better, but I love Next Generation so
Yeah.
much. I mean,
Same.
it's
I feel
like,
like Deep Space Nine doesn't get the love it deserves, but Next
oh,
Generation
absolutely not.
I love. Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Sisko is one of the best characters in all fiction.
Yep.
I mean, he's
He's
so
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now the question is, what do you like better? Which creation or world, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh,
Are you
definitely
are
Star
you a
Trek.
Trekkie? Okay.
Yeah. Although I do have an endless respect for Star Wars because they did what every fantasy writer dreams of, or every sci-fi writer dreams of. They made swords viable in a gun environment,
Right.
and that's hard to do. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's very true. Yeah.
when I first started writing my series, way
Hmm.
before when I was just thinking in my head, I wanted it to be a sci-fi. I wanted like lizards shooting laser guns and driving lizard ships and stuff.
Oh man, that would be sweet. You got to write that someday now.
But I just couldn't think of a plausible reason why people would have swords when there's like laser guns.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I just picture Zine trying to like stab someone, he gets shot in the head.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, on that note, Sardonyx was meant to be Darth Vader, so that's why he
Oh,
wears the full armor and he's like really scary.
okay.
And he
Ooh,
was gonna be. If you haven't read, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But
no, I
pretty
don't,
much,
but I'm
yeah.
really excited now, even more so.
He was meant to be the primary villain of the whole series.
Okay.
And as I started writing him, he just wasn't that guy.
Yeah.
He was kind of like this. I don't even know how to describe him. He's the best character in the whole story, but he's kind of like this really stubborn giant lizard warrior,
Okay.
and he just makes everyone really uncomfortable.
Ooh, that sounds like a fun character to read.
Yeah, but he's extremely powerful, so no one really
Okay.
wants to call him out on any of his stuff.
That's awesome. So he just gets away with it.
Yeah. As I like his son is His son is the character on the cover of Tears
Oh,
of
that's
Maelstrom.
his son's on the cover. Okay.
Yeah, and they don't
Nice.
have a very good relationship.
Okay.
And that dynamic's a lot of fun. I was like, one of the things that's good is to have friends who are into this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to tell my coworker about this, and I was like, listen, there's this guy. He hates unicorns, and he kills a unicorn. And his son was like, oh my god, you killed a unicorn. And I could just kind of tell the fear in his eyes that he was talking to a psycho. you know?
Oh
yeah.
man. He's like just like, yeah, okay. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
So yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you can't talk about this stuff with everybody.
no, that's why it's like, I was really nervous about my novella because it's like weird and tackles complicated subjects.
It really does. Yeah.
Like I hid it from my mom. I never told my mom it was coming out.
Really?
Yeah, because I
Does
just
she
didn't
know
want
now
her.
though?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Did she
I
read it?
forgot that I mentioned it at the acknowledgments in one of my other
Oh
books.
yeah.
So she's like, "Hey, what is this one?"
Oh man.
yeah, because I mean, it's just weird, you know. It's a character who goes to brothels. He loves prostitutes. He kills
Right, right.
people. He kills his brother, and it's like really. I didn't want them to be like, "We're gonna sign you up for therapy." you know?
Yeah. I know,
But
I know. But
strangely
oh
enough,
man.
she actually loves it. It's her favorite book out of all of mine. So
Oh,
what
well,
do I
there you
know?
go.
You know?
Yeah, there you go. It's awesome, man. Um, Greg said he feels you because his coworkers make fun of
Yeah.
him all the time.
I don't tell my coworkers I'm a writer. They have no idea.
Oh, really? They don't know
Yeah.
at all?
Uh, like two of them do because I didn't think I'd
Okay.
ever see them again, and then they came back.
Dang it.
One of
And you
them
told them
followed
they
me on
have to be quiet.
Instagram, so I was like, "Oh, I can't." I
Okay.
mean, but
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I'm a supervisor, so
Okay.
I don't want my team to be like the lizard guys telling me to increase productivity. You know? So
Yeah, you don't want to be like that. That's true. Oh
yeah.
man. So what do you supervise? Like what kind of work do you do?
I do mortgage finance. I
Okay.
work in like interest rates and pricing and all that stuff.
Okay.
It is nothing like fantasy. It's completely it's very
Yeah,
boring.
that's true. The other way, right?
Yeah, it's very dry.
Do you enjoy it though enough when you have to go to
I don't
work?
know. I'm good at it, and it
Okay,
pays the
well that's
bills. So
that's
I mean,
good.
either way,
That
that's I lean
that's
into
good.
it because I'm not a man of physical labor. So yeah,
Hey, me neither, man. I got you there.
yeah. So I pray to Microsoft Excel and it answers my prayers.
Well, there you go. This was probably good for you to hear. Sarnax is glorious and loved his ending in Tears of Tempest. Don't spoil anything, but I mean, I'm sure that's good to hear that somebody loves that an ending like.
Yeah, it was it's one of my favorite endings I've ever written. I really love the second book. Like Tears of the Maelstrom is a
Man,
good book.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, and it's because it's like you really once you get a little bit of confidence, you can really take it and start writing stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because like I mean, there's a romance scene in that one, but it's completely ridiculous. Like there's interference and there's battles, and it's just like I would never would have written that if I just
Oh man, that's cool. All right,
yeah.
so where did the glorious line come from? Do we know? Is that
Um.
is that in the book somewhere?
Oh, it's everywhere. It's probably
Okay,
the most famous part of the whole series.
so that's like the not Beatrice of the trilogy is glorious.
Yeah, the character Sardonyx, the lizard king, always says glorious,
Okay, nice.
and honestly, I have no idea. I wrote it in all caps and
Yeah,
made it in italics, and I was like, "That's it. That's your
that's it.
phrase. You're
That's
gonna
how it's
say
gonna
that."
be.
Because you always want characters to speak differently,
Okay,
and a lot of times we get lazy and just give them a catchphrase, and
right.
I
Yeah, yeah.
totally did that. So
I feel like that always works though.
yeah, like I liked Logan from the Abercrombie series
Oh yeah, yeah. Me too.
because what's this thing he says? Damn, I can't think of
He
it.
says, oh gosh, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, damn. I'm totally
Oh,
killing it,
it's
but
gonna
I can't
bother
think of it.
me.
Yeah,
Somebody in the
tell it in
chat,
the
if you know
chat.
what we're talking about. He always says it. Yeah, like you got to be realistic about these
Yeah,
things, or
that's it. You
something
gotta be
like that.
realistic
Yeah,
about these things,
yeah,
and it's always a struggle to make them say their catchphrase, but not like every sentence. because I mean, like, no one does that in real
Right,
life.
right. Oh man. All right. So since you wrote it, how does he say it? Let's hear it.
He just goes glorious and he screams it.
Yes. That's how I picture it when I kept seeing it written down there. So that's good.
Yeah, one of
Oh
my
man.
good friends, Jackie, who I don't think is here, she found a GIF of a wrestler doing the thing,
Oh
glorious,
yeah. Yeah.
and
When it says
that
glory.
is my most overused meme. I use that to everything.
I have seen you use that a lot. That makes a
Yeah.
lot more sense now. I was
Oh,
like, oh man, he really likes Randy Orton.
is that Randy Orton?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, you know that. That's funny.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I have like four good GIFs I just abuse.
just
Because a
use
lot
them
of times I
all
want to
the
respond, but I don't know what to say. So it's just like just plop up a glorious.
time. So he sounds like Rocky Balboa. That must have been what you sounded like when you said that.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good stuff.
If I
All
ever
right.
do an audiobook for that
Mhm,
series, that's
mhm.
gonna be like the defining factor is how they say glorious.
Yes, that's gonna be the what. That's all they need for the interview. I need you to say this.
Yeah.
Glorious.
And I've been hesitant because I mean there's a lot of confusing names,
Mhm.
and it would just be a real nightmare, I think, for an audiobook narrator to try to do it.
Oh man, but that's their job. They got to figure it out.
Yeah. Like the audiobook narrator for my novella did an amazing job.
That's good.
And I don't really listen to audiobooks anymore. I used to, but I didn't never really appreciated how much work goes into this. Every character has a different voice.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
And it's like, wow, you guys are really talented.
Oh yeah, for sure. So do you plan to do an audiobook then?
Honestly, no, because
Mhm.
the finances just aren't there
Oh
for it.
yeah, I know.
Because I'll tell you the real numbers. I have no problem doing that.
Okay.
For this one, which is
Yeah.
like 70, 80 pages,
Yeah.
I paid $720.
Holy Toledo.
And so far I've recouped $36 back on the audiobook. So
That's
if
a
I
good
were to
investment so
do,
far.
well, what's funny is everyone everywhere tells you, man, you need an audiobook. If you
Oh
do an
yeah, right.
audiobook, you're gonna
Yes.
do numbers.
It's gonna take off. Yeah.
And I did numbers, but they were low. So, you know.
Ah.
But if I did it for my trilogy, I'm probably looking at for all three books close to $10,000.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I can't do it. I really can't.
Kickstarter, man.
I don't want to because I feel bad because I mean, like, I'm not. I do okay financially,
Yeah, yeah.
so I feel like I'm not the person who should be getting people's money. I want people who
Fair.
like really can't afford to make their books. They should be the ones getting money. Like,
Fair.
don't give me money. I'm okay. You know. Yeah.
Oh, I think Molly Macabre just came in here.
Yeah. We
We
were
talked
talking
about
about your
your
book.
book earlier. Yeah. And she agrees. Audio is dang expensive.
It is, but I mean, it is surreal to hear your book narrated.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I bet it's cool.
Yeah, like it's a very I don't even know how to describe it, but it's very cool.
Yeah, I bet, man. That is cool. Well, maybe someday. Maybe
Yeah, it's possible.
you never know.
Well, if everyone in the
When
chat
these books go
buys all
crazy.
my books,
Yes, there you go. Then it'll be easy.
yeah,
Let's see. Oh, I was gonna ask you when we were talking about your books and writing earlier. I was curious. Are you a planner, or a pantser? Do you
I
plan everything
am.
out with outlines and all that, or is it a mix?
I'm a proud member of the Pants Gang.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I do usually know what the ending is,
Okay.
and I think once you know the ending, you can just kind of
See what
try to
happens.
get there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're pantsing, then has a character ever like completely changed what you were gonna do or how you were gonna get to the
Oh, that
ending?
happens all the time. I have characters
Oh, that's
appear out of
awesome.
nowhere, and then they end up being really important.
That's awesome. I
Like,
feel
there's
like
a
that's the
character in the second book named Bloom, which is funny. We were
Mhm.
talking about Dark Bloom. Her
Yeah,
name is
yeah.
Bloom, and I made her up on the spot, and now she's one of the most important characters in the whole trilogy.
Oh man, that's
And that's
awesome.
a weird thing because it's like it makes you realize just how kind of weird this whole process is.
Right. Yeah, for
Like, I
sure.
was talking to Pete. Pete reviews good
Oh
books.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think his name
Hmm.
is. He's a cool
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He sent me his outline for the book he's working on,
Hmm.
and it was like 4 pages of paragraphs.
Oh man,
And it was cool, but I was like, man, I don't
that's
do that.
awesome.
I know. I
Yeah.
just
You're like, what? This is an outline? What is this?
I tried to write character outlines,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just like hilariously bad. Like I wrote for Serena, it was like has platinum hair, does magic, doesn't like Francis, and like that's cool, but it doesn't really tell you anything.
Right. Oh, that's funny. Just the
Yeah,
bullet points. Oh, that's good. A lot of pantsers in here.
yeah. I
Let's
think
see.
pantsing is the way to do it,
Yeah.
but you
Here we
got
go.
to be careful. You can pants yourself into a corner.
That's true. That is true. But it probably helps that you know the ending, because I feel like a lot of times people that are pantsers, if they don't know the ending, then they get stuck because they don't know what to do next. But if you have like an end goal, I'm sure that helps, right?
Yeah, that's why it was really good for my books because I kind of like the JRPG style where there's a big boss at the end. You got to fight the big boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every one of my books ends with them fighting a big boss. So,
That's awesome, dude. I love
yeah.
that.
So I mean, I it's not creative, but I do know where they're going.
uh that's still creative. You just why mess with a plan that works? It works
Yeah.
so good in video games. Why not do it in the books?
But I
Oh,
really like the final battle in the last book is like 150 pages. It's just nonstop fighting.
oh dang. Okay. That's intense.
And some of the people who like the first book, they kind of like I
Yeah.
like this, but I don't like the combat. I was like, man, you're not gonna like book three.
Uh, yeah. Oh yeah, Molly said from our interview we didn't know what JRPG stood for, so we had to have people tell us.
Oh, you okay? Yeah. So when I say JRPG, I pretty much just mean Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah. Yep. Exactly. Uh all right. So we talked a lot about what you like, video games and your books and reading and all that. What about watching? We talked about Star Trek, but what else? Like what kind of shows have you been watching lately? What's your jam for shows or
Um,
movies or
I pretty much watch almost no TV these days,
oh, that's
just
good.
because my time is I don't have time for it. I really don't.
Yeah. That's true.
But I used to watch. Well, I hate to say Game of Thrones because I mean that's the most generic answer, but that really was that was such a good
Yeah.
time
Oh, it was, man.
because it was like everybody was watching it. Like if you
Oh
sat
yeah.
down at 8 or 9 o'clock on Sunday, you knew everybody was watching the same
Yes,
thing.
yes. Yeah, and that I feel like that like transcended like where we can't talk about books with people, but you could talk about the show with people that
Oh
weren't
yeah,
into, you know what I mean? Where you could talk about that and they know what you're talking about. So that
yeah. It
was
was like so cool because
yeah.
like I was in an office and we had a pool to like
Mhm.
who would die in the last season,
That's awesome.
and it was just like that. I was like, man, this will never happen again.
No, I know. That's so
But it
true.
was
That's
good.
it's like once in a lifetime that pop culture kind of thing just doesn't
Yeah,
happen. Have
but
you watched House of the Dragon?
no, and I don't know
You
why.
haven't?
I've been kind of nervous
Yeah.
because I'm not going to be that guy, but I really didn't like season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I
Yeah,
think
and
most people agree with you.
I don't want to get hurt again.
Yeah. I first season one was awesome. I would say of House
Yeah,
of the Dragon. Season two I liked, but it wasn't as good as season one. So
yeah, I've heard the same.
yeah. And I don't know. It seemed kind of like when people with like a trilogy where book two feels so much like a setup for book three. That's kind of how season two of this show felt like. They're
Yeah,
just setting you up for the next season, but we'll see. I don't know. But season one, it really I feel like it
I do got to check
captured
it
that.
out.
Yeah,
I
you
keep
should.
I keep rewatching these shows I like, which is
Yeah.
fun,
That's
but not really gain anything from it. Like I think my favorite two shows of all time are Mad Men and
oh
BoJack
yeah.
Horseman.
Yes, those are both great ones.
Dude, like
BoJack, I haven't thought of that show for a while. That was a good one.
yeah, I just randomly get like when I tell I hop on YouTube, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
watch this clip, and then you go down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
And
Then
like,
next thing you know, you're watching a whole show, right?
yeah, so it's like,
Oh
but
yeah.
that is the hardest show in the world to get people to watch.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, how do you just even describe that to somebody to
Yeah,
make them not think you're crazy? There you go again. You don't talk to that same guy at work.
yeah, because like the first like couple episodes are like,
Oh yeah,
but it
yeah.
gets so good after that.
Oh,
It's
it
like
does. It
really,
does. Yeah, I feel like a lot of animated shows are like that, where you like if you can stick it out because they try to play it a little safe and they see what'll
yeah,
stick, what people will like, and then once they settle in, like some of those shows get so good if you get past the first couple episodes.
Yeah, like I didn't on my first viewing, I didn't like the first season of The Wire.
I never watched The Wire.
Oh man, that's a
I've
good
heard
show.
it's really good though.
Yeah, it's like it's as good as people say it is.
Okay.
Some of the lines in that show are just really well written.
Okay. So that's one to check out for sure then.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever watch Farscape?
No, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't. I heard it's
Yeah,
awesome though.
that's a good one. I never watched it all the way through. I should, but that was a cool one. I love Farscape.
I watched Battlestar Galactica.
Oh yeah,
And
that's a good one.
that was a lot of fun. That was a good
Classic.
time.
Yeah, that is good. That's a good one. Very cool. What about movies? You ever go to the movie theater, or you just watch old shows and movies that you know you like?
I haven't been to a movie theater since the Avengers came out.
Oh really? Like
Yeah,
the
the
first
Infinity Wars.
Avengers or the oh, okay, Infinity Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun. I was in a movie theater in Atlanta
Oh
and
nice.
people were just yelling at the screen. It was like it was the best movie experience of my life. It
Oh
was
yeah,
so
same
awesome.
man. I feel like that captured a little bit of that feeling of like Game of Thrones, where just so many people were pumped about that and talking about it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
I don't miss sitting people down and be like, listen, you gotta watch Thor 1, don't watch Thor 2 yet. Then you gotta watch this. And it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
absolutely
It's true.
ridiculous.
I know. Got to do it in a certain order for sure.
Yeah, but I actually thought Infinity Wars was so good that I didn't want to watch anything after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you didn't miss much. Other than Spider-Man, there wasn't a lot of well, Guardians of the Galaxy. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the third one, which is probably
Okay.
a shame, but the second movie's amazing. I really love
Oh
that. It was
yeah.
great.
Yeah, the third one was good too. Yeah. Those and Spider-Man. And then I love Deadpool, so anything with Deadpool, I've
I
loved.
saw Deadpool 1 and 2, but I haven't seen 3.
Okay, you didn't see the Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
It's hard to say these days because I mean,
I
like every
know.
movie that comes out, there's like
It's always
people,
split, I feel like.
yeah, and
Yeah.
split hard. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Some people hate it, some people really like it, so I know.
yeah.
You just
Like
gotta see stuff for yourself.
one of my favorite video game series of all times is Dragon Age,
Oh, nice.
and there's a new one coming out.
I was gonna say
And
that's another
people
one you
either
might get
say
lost.
it's the best game ever made or it's absolute garbage,
Garbage.
and I have no idea what to make of this.
I feel like if you like the old games, you'll probably love it. You
That's
know?
how I feel. And, like,
Yeah.
I'm honestly pretty easy to please.
Yeah.
Like I liked Mass Effect 4, so I mean I don't care. It's like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mass Effect. Yeah, me too, man. I know I'm the same way. Like I usually if I watch something or play something or read something, I usually find something in it I enjoy. It's hard for me to be like, oh, that was terrible. Doesn't happen.
yeah, I don't really. And a part of it is like if I really hate something, I just stop watching it.
Yeah. And I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That is true.
Because I mean, I don't like to be the guy that trashes things that other people enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm the same. I agree. Yeah, like if you don't like something, just just move on your way. But if you love something, then yeah, shout about it.
Yeah,
But,
that's
yeah,
how I
I'm the
feel.
same way. I agree. I was gonna. Oh yeah, what about? Did you ever watch the first Gladiator? Because Gladiator 2 is
Oh,
coming
dude,
out.
that is one of the best movies of all time.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm curious about Gladiator 2. I don't know if it'll be as good as the first one. I kind of want to watch it, but
I've heard there's sharks in it, which I'm very curious about.
sharks.
Yeah,
I
but
did
it's
not
like
hear that. What? They're like
I know I
in
thought
the
the same
arena
thing.
or something?
I
Like
don't know, but that's
open
like
up. That's
my initial thought was that's stupid. That makes no sense. And I was
right.
like, I want to
Then
see
you,
some sharks.
I know. Then you thought about it more, and you're like, wait, hold on. Now, what if they would have said there's giant lizards in it?
I
You'd
would
have
love that.
pre-bought your ticket, right?
Yeah, like that's why I liked 300 because it was so stupid. They were fighting like
I know.
ninja warriors and giant monsters.
Oh man, that movie was wild, dude.
That really was. That was a good time.
It was a really good time. I enjoyed that one. Some of Zack Snyder stuff I'm not sure about, but that was
I'm hit or
pretty.
miss with him. I loved Watchmen. I thought his
Oh,
rendition
me
of that was
too, man.
excellent.
I did too. I mean, it was pretty lockstep with the graphic novel till they switched up some stuff at the end, but
Yeah, that
I thought it was
was.
pretty well done.
I didn't mind that, and I know
No.
if you say it in the wrong place, you're gonna get shot. But I
I
actually
know, you
I
gotta watch
thought it
out.
was pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah. I think everybody just left the stream because we mentioned it, but
yeah. But
I
I mean,
love
I kind of like creative choices even when
Oh
they
yeah.
don't work out, because I like the bravery of it.
Yes, I agree. Ooh, this is a good question. I'm ashamed I didn't think to ask this. Do you have any lizards as pets?
No, I don't, unfortunately. When I lived in Atlanta, I had like a 75-gallon fish tank,
Okay.
and that thing took years off my life. It's so stressful. You have to clean it every week. You have to feed them at certain times. You have to make sure no one's fighting.
Hmm.
And if someone gets sick, it like kills everybody.
Oh man, yeah. That's
And
a
like
lot of work.
you can't talk to them. You have no idea what they're thinking or what they're doing. You just gotta try to help them. It was really
Uh,
stressful.
I bet, dude. Well, where did your love of lizards come from?
I don't know. I've always loved them though. Like when I was a kid, at like 9 or 10 years old,
Uh-huh.
I had this like encyclopedia of dinosaurs, and I
Okay.
would just sit there at recess under the tree and just read
Oh,
dinosaurs.
that's sweet, man. So that makes sense. Then did you love Jurassic Park when you were a kid then?
Oh yeah, that was like the
Yeah.
perfect movie for me.
Heck yeah. Same.
And it's
Oh,
cool that it holds up. I mean, if you watch it
it
recently,
looks
it's still
good.
really good.
Yeah. I feel like it looks better than like those original ones. I feel like the dinosaurs look better than the newer ones that they did almost, you
Yeah,
know?
they do. And I don't know how that's possible, but I
Me
mean,
neither. I know, I agree. There was something else I saw that I wanted to ask you about. Oh, we talked about that you didn't really read a lot when you were younger, but now after having read some, who would you say are some of your favorite authors?
my favorite is definitely Robin Hobb.
Nice.
Have you read her Realm of the
No,
Ugly?
I got the first three. I got to read them, and this coming year I'm going to read them finally.
Yeah, there's like 16 of them, I think.
I know. Did you read all
Yeah,
of them?
all of them back to back.
Ah,
And
back to
all
back. Oh,
one
that's right.
marathon. This one,
You mentioned this in a stream once that I did with someone, and I was like, "What?" So, like, how long did it take you to read all those? Wasn't it an insanely short amount of time?
it was like 2 months, I think.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, it's that good. It really
Oh
is.
yeah, that's what I've heard. Because I mean,
And
those aren't the first book's not too long, but some of them get pretty long. There's some
yeah, you know what's
chonkers
funny
there.
is I actually didn't really like the first book.
You
I thought it
didn't?
was
Okay.
like kind of good. It
Yeah.
was like I liked the characters. I thought Fitz was cool. But
Okay.
the once you get to Royal Assassin, it's like okay, I see why this is
Okay.
hailed as a
Okay.
masterpiece.
Oh, nice. Um, what did you think about the one that everybody dislikes, the dragon ones?
Oh, I thought they were fun. I
You
like them.
didn't mind
I
them?
mean,
Yeah.
I don't get why people really hate them. I get
Yeah.
why because it's very weird. Like it's different tones.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like young people romance, which is not what you
Oh yeah,
get
yeah,
from the
yeah,
rest of
yeah.
it.
Right.
But it works, and it's very
Yeah.
important to the rest of the story.
That's what I feel like. If you skip that, those characters are important
Yeah.
to the rest. Yeah. So that's good. Well, and I feel like sometimes something like that, a few people that are more popular talk about how they didn't like it, and then people just want to pile on like, yeah, I
Yes.
didn't like it either. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna read all of them. So that's cool. That's still crazy to me though. 2 months. That's wild, dude.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
I was in a good place. I read Rage of Dragons, the sequel, and then I
Nice.
read the Poppy Wars trilogy,
Oh
and
man.
then I read all of Abercrombie's books, like all of them.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
I've
I
read
read
all of them.
Robin Hobb's books, and I was like, damn, I think I've just read like the Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's quite a back to back to back, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. What was your favorite first law book?
Ooh, a good question.
Yeah,
Probably Wisdom of Crowds, maybe.
me too. Me too. Well done.
It's hard to say though, because I really do like them all. I know
I
it's
do
not
too.
helpful, but they are
I know.
so
Same
good.
thing, man. I love them all. It's hard to. It's more like 1A through however many letters 9 goes through. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, the second series is probably better, but
Yeah.
getting Logan
Yeah.
and Glocta's POVs is so
Oh,
awesome.
so good, man. Oh, it was so. I yeah that that series just like that got me back into reading as an adult. So it was
Yeah,
awesome. Like I
and
went
it
a
was
big
funny
stretch.
because like I don't if someone were to ask me what First Law is about, I have no idea what to tell them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Well, especially the blade itself, right? I mean, it
yeah,
was
that's
so
it. The
good, but
blade
really,
itself.
it's like you're like, well, they go on a quest, I think, for something, but I know it's like
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
was struggling to blurb my first book.
I was
So,
gonna ask you about blurbs. I'm glad you
yeah.
said that
So
because
I
I feel
actually
like
read the blurb to First Law to try to see what he
okay,
did, and it's written so cheesy. It's like, "Welcome to a world where the good guys don't win."
yeah,
You're like, "Oh, this doesn't help me at all."
yeah. Like, dang it, this isn't gonna work. Oh
uh,
man, oh that's funny. Well, I feel like your blurbs are pretty good, so you did good. You got there. So what'd you do? What'd you end up doing since you didn't use that? Did you just rolled with it, or did you
Rolled
look
with
at
it.
other ones? Rolled with
I
it.
think my first blurb is terrible. It just doesn't work at all. But when
This
I
poor book, man. You just are heaping on it.
no, I mean, I think you should. I think you gotta. I think you gotta be honest with yourself.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. It's true.
Yeah, because
I'm
like,
getting ready to read it soon. Stop talking so bad about it.
oh
Oh
man,
man, it happens. It happens.
yeah.
Who's your favorite character in First Law then?
Galacta.
Nice.
Yeah, and I actually I didn't like the book at first because I hated
Mhm.
Galacta.
Yeah,
I was like, why am I following the point of view of a torturer?
I
Like,
know.
what
At
the hell
first,
am I
he's
reading?
kind of an ass. Yeah,
Yeah, I really didn't get why people said it was so good. I was like, this
yeah,
sucks. And then I kept going. And I was like, okay,
yeah.
this is awesome.
All right, now I get it. Now I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it's you got to stick with it. I feel like two of my favorite series are First Law and Red Rising. I feel like both are like that. You got to get past the first book and then really take off. Have you
Yeah.
read Red Rising?
No, I
Okay.
haven't. No, I hear nothing but good things. Well, I
Yeah.
hear mostly good things about Red
Yeah, yeah,
Rising.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's always people that hate everything, right? There's somebody that hates something always.
Yeah,
Nothing's universally loved except us.
that's right. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, that's good stuff. What about music? What kind of music do you like?
Oh, that's a good question. I love metal and like progressive metal.
Ooh, progressive metal. What is that? I don't know.
Like Dream, you know Dream Theater at all?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. They
Okay.
had a new song
Okay.
come out a few weeks ago, and I'm back on
Oh,
board. I'm very excited.
nice. Nice. Okay. Do you listen to music while you write, or do you need it to be like
No,
totally quiet?
I made a music playlist, and it was all
Mhm.
like really pretentious. It was like Chopin and all Beethoven, and I just never listened to it. It was
So you made a whole playlist for when you write and you just don't listen to it.
yeah, because like I find that it's really easy to find ways not to write.
Hmm.
There's like I could write this chapter, or I could make a playlist, and there's so many of those nights where you completely wasted time.
Oh yeah, like master of avoidance, right? When
Yeah.
sometimes when you need to. Yep. That makes sense. Was that the kind of music you always liked? Did you like that kind of music as a kid too?
Um. Well, I was when I was in high school. I loved new metal, like Korn and
Okay.
Limp Bizkit and all that.
Oh yeah, yeah, nice.
And I still have a love for them, but I kind of I went to them, then I went to Metallica,
Oh,
and then I
nice.
kind of went to Dream
Okay.
Theater. So I went down this weird rabbit hole.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, but it was
Oh
cool because
man.
I remember the first time you know Metallica, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Like the first time I heard the intro to Battery, I was like, "What is this? How does this happen?"
I must know more.
Yeah. So like, I
It
didn't
had you hooked.
realize when I bought Master of Puppets, I was listening to like one of the best albums of all time.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But
What
you
about you?
did. Oh gosh. I kind of have a weird music taste. I listen to everything. It just depends on the mood I'm in.
Okay.
Like when growing up, so when I was young, I was, you kind of listen to what your parents listen to a little bit, right? So like when I was really young, I would listen to what did you have a Creed phase? I would listen to what my mom listened to it. She listened to country all the time. So I listened to country. And then um I am laughing at what they said. Did you have a Creed phase?
They have some bangers,
Used to,
man. I
right?
don't care.
Oh yeah, me, I'm the same, man. And then I said, wait, yeah, Creed's supposed to be just a phase. That's right. It's not.
It's funny about Creed. I don't mean to derail your story, but
No, no, no,
Creed,
no. I kept looking and laughing too. So
their guitar player Tremonte is amazing,
yeah.
and his solo work is really good. Like he's part
Mhm.
of my playlist.
Oh, nice. The one you don't listen to, or one you do listen
No,
to?
the one I actually listen to. Yeah.
Nice, nice. But yeah, no. Anyway, so I listened to country a lot when I was little because that's all I heard, and I thought, well, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember the first time at school, in like elementary school, people were talking about what they were listening to, and they're like, "What about you?" And I said, "I don't know, like Shania Twain or something.
Oh.
And I got some weird looks. So I'm like, all right, I got to expand my musical horizons.
I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
say,
no,
like,
I listen to everything now.
when I was like 12, I think, or 11,
Hmm.
CD burning just became a thing. So
Oh, that was
Napster was on
like
the rise, and you
Napster.
could
Yep,
get,
yep, yep. That
and
was
there
so
was the cool kid who had a CD burner, and if you gave him
awesome.
$5, he'd make you your CD.
That's
And
awesome.
one of the songs I told him I wanted "What a Girl Wants" from Christina Aguilera, and
Yeah,
I
I
got
remember that
roasted.
song.
Yeah, I got absolutely roasted.
Oh, I'm
So
sure.
I had to make lifestyle changes.
You're like, dang it. Oh, yeah, that's bad. But you were paying him. He should have just done it and kept his mouth shut.
Because I mean, that's the you don't know what's not cool until you get blasted.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And then you know. It's so true. My brother had a CD burner, so that was sweet. He burned so many CDs for me. That was pretty awesome.
It was a
Man,
wild time.
it
Like,
was, man. That
I
was
just
wild.
remember it was like I had "Who Let the Dogs Out." I had Eminem. I had Metallica. It was like
Me
really,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could just have so many different things on one CD. That sounds like the same CD I had, man. That's awesome.
Oh, it was too funny.
Oh, dude. Yeah, when Eminem came out, that was awesome. Good times.
Yeah, it was like you have to like this or you're not cool.
Oh yeah,
You
for
know?
sure, for sure. I remember I asked for his first CD for Easter one year, and my mom got it for me, but she didn't understand that there was like the I don't what do
Yeah.
they call it? What's like not the
Parental
PG,
warning.
but yeah, the parental.
Yeah.
So like I went to listen to it, and he says, just drink a fifth of Kool-Aid. And I that was the first time I had heard it, so I like thought that's actually what the words were. It took me a little bit to figure out.
Dude, that's
Oh,
so
that's
funny.
not what it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
was like,
we figure these things out.
I got my mom to buy me Grand Theft Auto 3
Oh, nice.
because
Yeah,
back
yeah.
then GameStop wouldn't sell it to you without a parent.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I
That
told
makes
her it was
sense, I
a
guess.
racing game.
Yeah. You told her it's just a racing game. I
Oh
mean,
man.
there's some truth to that. That's not a complete lie.
I'll never forget how bewildering it was to just like walk down the street and just shoot someone in the
Oh, I
face.
know. I know. I know. Yeah, I was the same, man, when I got that. It was so fun. I don't even know if I ever actually beat that game. I think I just would play for hours just trying to see if I could get like the military to come and like how far you could go, you know?
Yeah, it's so funny though.
Oh, I know. It's so true. And now my son, I have Grand Theft Auto 5 and he's 15 and like sometimes I'll walk through the room and he's playing it and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, why am I letting you play this game?" He's just like chasing down like little old ladies and just like curb stomping them on the ground. I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh, I would never do that in real life." I'm like, "I hope not."
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know. It's like I have mixed feelings on that.
I know.
I remember like I remember playing Counter Strike online,
Hmm.
and man, people would say really
Oh yeah,
like there's
it's crazy.
a lot of unfortunate things were said to me,
Hmm. Oh
and
yeah,
you just had to learn to deal with it.
I know. It's crazy. I know. Yeah, I don't like the online stuff for kids. Like I usually let them play stuff, but it's like got to be offline. Because even like something like Roblox, like can just be bad, and it's supposed to be for little kids, and you
That's
just
so
got
sad.
craziness going on. So it's just you got to be so careful. Ugh.
Some some people are just so mad.
Oh, I
And you're
know
like,
they
dude.
are. Why are you so angry?
I remember like I
Yeah.
used to play Street Fighter on PlayStation 3,
Oh yeah,
and
Street
like
Fighter.
you'd win a match, and they just send you this like block of text about how they're gonna kill your family.
I know where you live. Yeah, I know. It's wild,
Uh,
man. It is wild.
Good times though. They were the good days.
They were those were the good days. Did you ever play Max Payne like NA's talking about here? That was a sweet
No, I
game.
didn't. I heard
You
it was
didn't play
awesome
it?
though.
Oh yeah, it had that whole slow motion mechanic where you
Yeah.
dive and then shoot as that was sweet. That was fun. Oh yeah, Red Dead Redemption Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, those games are awesome.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
was a powerful time sink.
Oh man.
I mean, it was like,
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's so true. That's how most games are. And then you look back and you think, what did I just do with my life?
yeah, but I
All the
mean,
time. but it's so fun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
It's worth
I'm
it.
not doing drugs. I'm not,
Yeah, exactly. There's worse vices than video games, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. I agree.
We were actually just talking about that at a barbecue a few months ago.
Really?
My friends are all nerds, and we're just like, we kind of wasted our lives playing video games, but at least we're all okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right. Yeah, exactly. That's very true.
yeah,
Yep. I'd say you turned out pretty well. Writing books and doing all sorts of things. I say, well done, my friend.
it definitely could have been worse.
Yeah. Yes, it could have been. That's true. This is a good question. How did Tim come up with the idea of harbingers?
That's
I don't
actually
know.
really, that's such a good question. I don't know the answer. Um, actually, so I kind of I needed like not a big bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I needed something that would trigger a battle,
Okay.
and it was a way to get everyone together. So, like, if a kingdom has a harbinger, every point of view character has got to come together and fight it together.
Ooh, okay.
And it's really good from a writing standpoint because, like, after the battle's over,
Yeah.
you have a lot of options,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of where the first book, the plot takes off because once the harbinger's dead, the king is like, "Yeah, I kind of don't need you anymore, so you're going to jail."
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, but and it was funny is I kind of got tired of writing them by the
Okay.
third book.
Yeah.
So they're there, but they're way in the background compared to like Arrogance and the big bads.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're not as front and center.
Yeah, they kind of the third book's all about Arrogance. He kind of
Okay.
takes over.
That's cool.
Hence the name Age of Arrogance. Yeah.
Makes sense. I see what you did
Yeah.
there. Now, do the other titles, do they all kind of play into the story? Is that, or did you just think of cool titles, or
No,
did you
they're all
base it off
pretty
like the
important.
story? Okay.
So the second, where do I put these? The this one, Tears of the Maelstrom.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually found after this that a lot of people don't know what Maelstrom is, and it's
I
like
don't know.
a storm of sorts.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So the one of the point of view characters is Tempest. It's kind of like another way of saying him.
yeah. Okay.
And the third one is pretty self-explanatory. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
it's Arrogance and it's Age of Arrogance.
Okay.
Because he's always a looming presence, but he really starts to he's like, okay, this guy's actually coming for
Yeah.
coming now.
Oh man. Well, yeah, they are sweet titles, man. You nailed it with all of them. I mean,
And
this
this
one
one,
too.
Whisper,
Yeah.
I actually wanted to name it like Silent Empire or Empire of
Okay.
Silence.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh my god, there's actually an Empire of Silence. And
Like,
it's
wait a
really
minute.
good.
That's
So
not gonna work. Yeah, have you read Sun Eater? Have you read that?
I've read the first two and I'm halfway through the third one. Demon in White,
Nice.
I think it's called.
Yeah, that's about where I am at. I'm in the middle of
Yeah.
Demon and White too. Yeah.
I had to take a break
Mhm.
because I was getting so tired of having like four chapters of the main character talking with someone.
Yeah.
And then it ends with, and I never saw this character again. And I was like, dude, I'm so done with this by now.
That does happen a lot. That's true. I didn't really
But
think about that.
it is amazing. It's
Yeah. Oh
some
yeah.
of the best prose I've ever read in
Oh
any
yeah.
genre.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good. I loved all like the horror aspects in the second book too. That was cool.
Yeah, it actually
Yeah.
freaked me out. It was
Yeah. There's
really,
freaky stuff in there. Yeah. I know.
I can't say I don't enjoy them as much as I respect them
Yeah.
because it's like, man, this is not pleasant at
Yeah.
all.
Right. Yeah.
And it's,
Yep.
I don't know if you felt this, but it really hit me in the third book at how lonely the story is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's millions of characters, but none of them matter. I mean, he meets them, he goes into cryostasis for 30
Right.
years, and
Yeah.
everything's different. The setting
That,
changes every
yeah.
500 pages.
Right. That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is very true. Because yeah, there's really not that many that stick around for the ride with him.
Yeah, I mean, like, think of the first book where he's on the planet and there's a whole gladiator subplot, and
Mm-hmm.
none of that has any relevance in the third book. It's
That's true.
completely
Yeah,
gone.
that is true.
It's like,
It is interesting. Yeah, that is
yeah.
true. Oh man, that's true. Because usually you have like a cast of characters that you kind of grow with through the whole thing. But yeah, it's him and Volca. But that's about it.
Yeah, and it's a really it's really brave way to write a book.
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
if I write a character and people like him, he's sticking around.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
how do
he
you?
just he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, he's
He
like,
doesn't even
"They're out."
kill them. He just says, I
No,
never saw this
he's like,
character
you just
again.
disappear into the ether forever, into the phantom zone.
Yeah.
What? So speaking of like your characters, I haven't got I haven't gotten to your trilogy yet, but I'm sure it happens. So
Yeah.
how's it gone for you when you have to like kill off a character? Do you ever have a hard time with it? Like where you're like, maybe I can think of a way for them to hang around, or you just make that decision, you're like, they gotta go.
Um. So most of the time, if you get the letter in the mail, you're dead, and there's nothing's gonna save you. But what kind of threw me through a loop was I had to fix the plot hole at
Mhm.
the ending in the first book.
Okay.
So I had to change who died, and
Oh,
that was
okay.
actually kind of sad because I was like
Right.
I had like a whole arc for this character and everything,
Oh,
and now that's
oh man. So
yeah,
that's in the first book.
yeah. I don't
So
want to
now,
say spoilers, but it was like
right. But so now when I get there and I feel sad, I'm gonna be like, dang it, man, they weren't even supposed to die.
yeah. But there's some good deaths in the first book.
Okay.
I think the second book has the best ones.
Okay. So the
And
second book
actually, I
is,
take that back. The third book has the best ones. Yeah,
so the deaths just get better and better as you
yeah.
go.
The third
uh,
one's the best because I mean that's the final battle.
yeah. Oh yeah. And I feel like
So I
you
mean,
gotta have deaths that are meaningful like that because it's not very. I mean, it's fantasy, so when I say realistic, that's probably not the right
yeah,
word, but I feel like if there's a war and battles and this darkness going on, like people are gonna die. You can't just
yeah,
have your favorites always make it through. So I think that's good that you do that.
yeah. And another thing is like you don't have to kill a character to hurt them.
Right.
You know?
That's true too. Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true.
So
Sometimes
you'll see
surviving.
like a
Yeah.
lot of that in the third book
Okay.
where you survive, but at what cost?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. That's good. Sometimes that stuff sticks with you way more. I agree.
yeah. But I found it hard with the novella because you can't kill the main character because he's first person point of
Yeah.
view.
Yeah. I mean, there have been books where they have, right?
Yeah, but I mean
I was
it's
kind of waiting for you to do it. I was waiting for it. I was like, he's gonna do it.
it would have been funny if I just wrote and now I am dead and then it
Yeah.
goes to the acknowledgement section.
That was the final line. And I'm dead.
Yeah. But it's
Uh,
you gotta end it well because that's what people see before they rate it.
yeah, that's
So
true. That's
if you
true.
piss them off, they're gonna get you back.
That's smart writing right there. That's
Yeah.
very true. Oh man. Oh, Librand Lake sent us here. Thanks for being here. Driving in a blizzard. Oh man.
Where's it snowing right now?
Uh, Colorado, I think
Oh,
she
okay.
is. So
Yeah. I'm in
that
New
makes.
York and it's like 70 degrees today,
I
which is
know.
really weird.
It's been weird like that. I'm in Michigan and it's been like rainy and like 70, and I'm like, ugh. I'm ready for the cold weather.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm very confused.
And this weather's been weird, man. We had
Yeah.
like no fall. It's just been extended summer. Maybe more like spring than fall. It's been
Yeah.
weird.
And when it finally gets cold, I'm gonna be so like not ready for it.
And then I'm gonna be like, why is it so cold? I know. But it'll come. It's gonna at
It
some
always
point, right?
does.
It always does. It always does. Oh man. So is there I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think I asked you all the things I wanted to ask you about. Oh, I know. What's your favorite food? I wanted to
Ooh.
know. I wanted to know. It's
I don't know if
important.
I have one. That's a harder question than you think it is.
It is hard. I know.
I really like chicken franchise.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
What did you think I was gonna say?
I don't know. I didn't know you were gonna get so specific. I don't even know what that is. What's chicken
Oh,
franchise?
it's like chicken parmesan?
Yeah.
It's like that with lemons instead of tomato
Oh,
sauce.
lemons.
It's really good. Try it.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
gotta
I
come to
love
New
chicken
York and have chicken.
parmesan. Lemons. So
So
like
like I think
lemon
of
juice
obvious
or like a sauce made out of lemons.
sauce.
Ooh, That does
Yeah.
sound very interesting.
And Italian food in New York is very special. I mean, it's good
Oh,
stuff.
I bet, dude. I bet. I've never been to New York. I'll have to come someday.
Yeah, like my best place, I call them to put an order in, and
Mhm.
they get my name wrong. They're not polite, and they just sound really annoyed that I'm calling them. But it's so good.
But the
It's
food
like,
makes it worth it, right?
yeah, it's
Is
like
it-
this is really annoyed sounding Italian man. He's like, "What do you want?"
What do you want? What? That's hilarious. Is it like one of those places where they do that on purpose, or that's just how they are?
No, he just doesn't want to talk to me, and I respect that. It's
He should just set up online ordering so that he doesn't have to talk to people.
but
That's
he
part of the
puts all of
experience.
that anger into the chicken, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely delicious.
Yeah. What's it called again?
Chicken
Chicken
franchise.
Frances. All right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look that up and see if there's anywhere around here a recipe or something I can try it.
Yeah, if you I'll Uber Eats you chicken franchise, it's like you gotta try this.
I don't know if anybody around. I don't have any fancy places around me.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have a. I think the only Italian restaurant I have around me is I don't even know. I'm not sure.
What was funny was when I lived in Atlanta for a few years,
Uh-huh.
every Italian place was called like real New York pizza or some variation of that.
Yeah,
And I was like, come
that's
on, you're
funny.
not real New York.
Like you are not. You're not even in New
Yeah.
York.
But New York does that too. They try to say like authentic like Louisiana chicken and
Oh
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's not.
You're like, nah.
It's not
If
at
it was
all.
authentic, we'd be there.
Exactly.
That's so true. Oh man. Yeah, I have to see. I was thinking, I think there is one Italian place. I'll have to see if they have that. I don't know.
The idea of only having one Italian place is so startling to me.
It is. It is. It's sad. I mean, there's pizza places, but they're not really like,
Yeah.
they're not they just have pizza.
There are so many pizzerias by
Oh,
me.
there is, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. I agree. Oh man. Well, it's been an hour and a half. I
Yeah,
thought it
this
was
is
just
a
been
lot
an
of fun.
hour.
This actually
Yeah,
didn't feel like an hour and a half at all.
I know. I was just gonna say I thought it'd been an hour, and then I just looked. I'm like, holy smokes.
Do I have
Um,
time to ask you about your writing, or are we way done
oh
with
no,
this?
you
Okay.
can. You can. Uh so what do you want to ask? I don't know.
How is that going?
Oh, yeah. It's going okay. It's going good.
Yeah,
So yeah, I just have written like a few chapters into the first book, but then I decided to to try to flesh out the characters a little bit.
yeah.
And just to see how it would go, I started writing like a short story or a
Oh,
novella
okay.
for each
Yeah,
character, kind of because they're all in this big kingdom city for the first book, and I thought it'd
yeah,
be cool maybe to write their little story like leading up how they all get there. And then just for fun, see how it goes, and then maybe I could release those leading up to the first book if I like it and I do good with it. But so that's kind of how it's going now. I'm just fleshing
okay.
things
Well,
out
that's cool. I
still.
hope you stick with it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure I write a little bit every day or two, and I don't know. It's funny because I've always wanted to be a writer. I've always wanted to write, like,
Yeah,
but it's just I've never had. I mean, there's always time, but I've never. I won't want to say I haven't had time. I've never made time. So then now I'm trying to do it now, but then I started this booktube thing too, and I'm like, shit,
yeah,
this takes a lot of time too.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Like,
listen,
and then reading, like, it's so many things.
you make a lot of videos.
I'm trying to get those followers up, get my name out
Yeah.
there, so that when I finally release a book, people be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's pretty nice. I'll check out his book."
If you want to just put like a controversial clickbait video,
I
just
should.
like why the first law sucks, and then you get a million views.
I know. I tried to make one about First Law. I actually did make a little short that said the standalones aren't standalones, because I think
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. That
yeah,
was a
but
good idea.
it didn't get a lot of traction. People were
Yeah,
like,
it really
I don't
wasn't
care.
like he actually made a good point. So it was like nobody wanted to fight with you.
I know. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I mean, don't you feel like if you just start there, you're missing so much
No,
from
I,
the first
I I
three books,
totally agree. I
and then if
think
you skip them,
best
you're
served
missing
cold
so much. What's that?
probably best served cold probably
Oh yeah,
works, but the rest you really need
yeah,
context.
yeah. You probably could, but I mean, even with that one, like you miss so much with uh, what's his name? Nah, my mind just went blank.
Oh, the captain, I can't think of his name.
Well,
That-
him, yeah, that's true. You missed some with him, but
yeah,
the oh my gosh, like the main guy, and then he's in the second trilogy or the last trilogy too, with he's with Rika, or what's his name?
You're not talking about Glock, though, are you?
No, not Galacta. It's the guy that he comes Shivers. Calls Shivers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Shivers.
I
Yeah,
feel like you missed like his whole introduction and like why everything with the original characters in the end of that first trilogy, you know? If
yeah,
you
it was
don't.
cool because he was like, I didn't think much of Shivers, but as I was reading, I was like, this is actually a pretty deep character.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets yeah, he's one of my favorite characters too, but yeah, so I don't know. I mean, you'll be fine if you, as long as you're reading it. Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah.
But I just feel like everyone calls them standalone and says you can skip them or you can start there, and I'm like, no, you got to read them in order. It's just the best experience.
Oh, I think Jan's right. Just throw shade at Brandon Sanderson. And you'll get it.
That's 100% true. Yeah, if I just made one video that said this is why Brandon Sanderson's books are not good, oh man, it would get so many views just to see what I said, and then I could just say,
it
gotcha!
It may not be positive attention, but you will receive attention.
That's true. That's true. People probably wouldn't subscribe, but
no, they would write comments on your thing. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, it would not be good. It would not be good. Have you read Sanderson stuff?
I've read a lot of it. I've read all the Stormlight books
Oh,
and all of Mistborn.
Nice. I read both airs. Oh gosh, dude, you have read everything. You've read so many good things. I read Mistborn Era 1. I read Elantris and Warbreaker. Now I'm reading Way of Kings. So working my way through it.
I haven't read Elantris, so I'm not there yet. Okay. And one thing that really bothered me, if we're going to talk controversial.
Yeah.
So there's like side novellas with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I always skip those because I just don't have time to read everything.
Oh, I know. Well, and the books are so big.
Yeah. One of the major plot points in the second Mistborn series is based on an event from the novella, one of the novellas.
I heard that.
And I was so mad because I didn't know what the hell is going on. I was like, why is this character here? This character shouldn't be here right now.
Did you figure that out after?
Yeah, because I went on the internet to get mad, and I was like, okay, I understand now.
You're like, oh, dang it. I was supposed to read that. I know. I always try to look that up now. Like, do these novellas matter? Because sometimes they don't. You don't have to read them, but sometimes they do, you know. Sometimes they lead directly into the stuff. So
yeah, I've never seen that before. Most of the time, novellas are just kind of like just the one in series or just little side stories.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. Well, I feel like which one was it? One of the Sun Eater novellas. I feel like the one, what's it called? I think it's Queen Amid Ashes. Kind of goes right after book 2 into book 3. Like,
so I didn't read that one, so I have no idea.
I mean, but I think you could not read it and be fine. It's just funny because it is like almost right after the book. It goes right into the next thing. So
I think that's kind of no, I guess I can't say that because I'm doing it in my current series. So it's like because like my novel will be a standalone, but it will be more rewarding if you've read Whisper.
Right, yeah.
Because otherwise, you're like, who is this guy?
Oh, well, I mean, that's a good thing though, because I mean, luckily it's a novella, so that's an easy sell to get somebody if they like that book. It'll be easy to get them to read that. But I'm excited, man. I'm pumped because I love Mute and that world.
It is funny when people don't like Mute; they really don't like Mute.
Yeah, I have seen. I always get like, I don't know. And maybe it's because I know you, so I get a little more like gruff about it. But like sometimes I see like some reviews or something, even if someone's super nice, like, oh, it was well written, but this character is just so weird, just not for me. And I'm like, what? Take it back right now.
One of the funniest reviews I have on Whisper is like, I really enjoyed this book. I will never read it or anything like it ever again.
I think I saw that one too. Oh, that was good. I really liked it, but I'm never gonna do anything like this again. Oh man, that's funny.
And all you could do is just laugh.
Oh yeah, that's all you got to do. Because I mean, you know, people not everyone's gonna like what you put out there, but you just want most people to. And I think most people love your stuff, man.
Yeah, or I got a good.
You got a good. That's right. You got it good. You did well. All right, so I said 10 minutes ago I was going to let you go. So now I will. Now we will end it. So thank you, everybody in the chat. You guys were awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all the great questions and comments and everything. We appreciated it. Thank you, Tim, for being here. I appreciate it, man. This was a lot
This
of
was a
fun.
blast. I had a great time.
Yeah, me too.
I
Me
can't
too.
believe we spent an hour and a half.
You know, it's crazy. So yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So everybody have a fantastic night. Thanks for hanging out with us. And as I always say, till I see you in the next one, devour your TBRs, be brave, be beautiful to one another, and be beastly. We'll see you.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on. I made this. I need to show it to everyone. After I get done, the links to all of Tim's books will be in the description box down below.
We have for an hour and a half. We didn't do this, but buy all my books, like every single one of them.
Yeah, buy them all. Buy them all. They're all good, even though I've only read one, but I can tell they're all really good. So if you're watching the replay or if you're in here and you haven't gotten Tim's books, they'll be in the description down below. Now we will leave. Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
See ya. Awkward moment before it ends.
Are we live or are we not live?
It hasn't ended yet. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's fine.